fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rhythm, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up top here!
Oh my God! Oh. Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Second very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go! Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
And so Formula One racing comes home. This is the iRacing Grand Prix Series. This, with the Mercedes W12E performances, is Silverstone. And this is where amazing action, time and again, continues to find itself. This is a place where everybody should know this circuit and all of the pitfalls and the troubles if they have any hopes of understanding what open wheel racing is all about. And here, when it comes to SimSpeed TV, this is where you get amazing racing action, 25 laps of it here today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone watching around the world here for coverage of the third round of the iRacing Grand Prix Series. I'm Jake Sperry. I've got Scott Fountain along with me for the ride here on this one. Arena Grand Prix layout that we will be going around today. 5.89 kilometers, 18 turns of what is a titan of motorsport and a track which, quite frankly, cannot be rivaled in the United Kingdom, as we find ourselves in Northamptonshire. And this circuit's had many iterations, Fonty, but this one, the most recent, hasn't been altered in the past 12 years.
Yeah, exactly right. Hello, everybody. And yeah, it's been a while since we've commentated together, Sperry. It's been a while since I've been on the commentary mic, and look forward to Silverstone today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world. It's going to be a fantastic race. Got the regulars out there running times, which, will be an interesting race.
It certainly will, and those times are going to be crucial, and so will the overtaking opportunities. The hanger straight into Stowe Corner, the run all the way from the village section of the track along the Wellington Straight to Brooklands Corner. Keep an eye out on that. And of course, Copse, a very underrated place to get a move done. Maybe if you're Lewis Hamilton, you might have a chance to get that one done twice over the course of one race. But we are, of course, here watching some amazing racing go along. Qualifying is currently underway. They have 8 minutes and or 2 laps to set in order to put their times on the board. And crucially, those times as they cross the line are going to be absolutely massive. Making the run then to Maggott and Beckett out there on circuit is going to be John Pat Kelly, looking to really get that run and try and attack forward over on this qualifying lap. And really, qualifying's been quite interesting so far here, Fonty, because it is Oliver Stepanov, the reigning champion, who is clear, but he is not clear by much. He is clear by only 400th. Tamas Simon sitting in the wings and waiting.
Yeah, certainly right. Tamas Simon out there cutting laps as well at this stage. Looks like he has completed his second lap, so won't improve on times. But as we see John Pat Kelly there, he's just pulling up. He's had enough. Probably maybe going to get a few practice starts in. As we flick to the next car, here we go. Victor Ord. How's that how you see it there, Sperry?
Yeah, you got Victor Auad there, who is certainly hoping for a good time. Hasn't set one as of yet, running through the Vale and through the final club corner with the very difficult tightening of the final section. 125.6 though, good enough to go 14th fastest, just behind Luis Nunez out there on circuit. So Victor Auad then currently classified on the 7th row of the grid. Here though, is Tamas Simon. We believe is able to finish a final lap, but backs out of it, could not find the improvement that was necessary. The only other drivers out there on a lap are going to be Cedric Beale, who is going to run out of time because he's only coming around the Luffield corner right now and looking to get a drive off the exit. The only other driver is Adam Cohen, the New Zealander. He's got 30 seconds to go through the final sector, running down the hangar straight. This is going to be close.
Yep, there we go. Good old Kiwi boy. And, yep, hopefully he can find some decent pace. Won't set a lap yet, but looking pretty good. Such a fast-flying track, this, isn't it? It's a wonderful circuit for these cars to go drive around.
It is, and as Adam Cohen dives into pit lane, a 80km/h pit lane, but the marker line very early, we can now say that qualifying is officially complete here at Silverstone, and we can run ourselves down the grid, see where everyone is going to stack up. It is Oliver Stepanov, then the Austrian, who has pole position, 124.667. He heads off and staves off Tamas Simon in second position. Kalen Chin starts from third. He'll have Filippo Grandi for company in fourth position. Remy Garcia starts in fifth, and Felipe Giro makes it 6 different nationalities in the top 6. It does go to 7 as Timo Karjalainen will start in 7th place with Cedric Beale in 8th place. Every reason to be excited about that time for him. Jorge Almanza will start 9th, along with a great qualifying time from Devon Corriveau, number 24, lowest iRating in the field. He's got himself a top 10 start today. Anthony Catt did so well on alternative strategy last time out. He starts 11th with Marcel Fassbender in 12th position. Jacob Reed and Luis Nunez were stars last week. They've got a tough job. They've got the 7th row of the grid. Victor Auad then will have Kent Nielsen for company in 16th with Michael Farbach and Adam Cohen on row 9. Row 10 will house Thomas Knoll and Tyler DeZube, with row 11 housing Philip Yates and John Pat Kelly. Paul O'Regan was the last driver to set a time, a 27.175, and not able to set a time was Jan Stratinsky, the Canadian, in the number 22 Mercedes W12 E-Performance. And crucially, this is where everyone needs to get themselves set up. They have 2 minutes to get themselves gridded up. They must change their tyre compound during the race. All bar 2 are on the medium compound tyre. Anthony Catt and Kent Nielsen, the only ones who are starting today on the soft compound. Keep that in mind with everybody's strategy works in play. This is going to be a very important race. Watch out for that run as well, up into the Village Arena for the very first time as the green flag drops. And an atrocious start. 2 drivers there on the second row and third row of the grids. Grandi and Giro, I believe, unable to get a good launch. It's a good start from Tamas Simon, though. He's taking the race lead away. There's a lot of smoke in the background. There's spinners in the background then as they run through the opening corner. Drama's already taking effect out there, but crucially enough, it is a case of everyone in trouble. Victor Auad is one of them. Corriveau looked like he was caught up in it, and so too Michael Farbach.
Yeah, there we go. Paul O'Regan also caught up in those shenanigans in that first corner there. And, yeah, pretty decent start there for Stepanov, although he has dropped back to P2. And Tamas Simon has started to pull a gap, 0.7 of a second. Already back to Stepanov, then Kalen Chin in third.
And what's crucial is you get the gap early inside the first 3 laps is vital in terms of picking this up, because you don't have the rear wing flap, the drag reduction system. Big wide line taken by Pipo Grandi. He's looking to get past Jorge Almanza, going through Maggots now and in through Beckett's, the right-hander, leading to Chapel. Now the left and onto the hangar straight. Will not have DRS, but will have the benefit of the draft and will look to move to the inside, trying to get it done at Stowe Corner. Big late send to the inside, tyre to tyre. They will go as they will fight all the way to Stowe. They have Anthony Catt for company, who's on the much better tyre right now, and he just sweeps around the outside of Almanza. He had nothing for him.
Yeah, exactly right. Great move there from Catt. You can really see those soft compound tyres moving forward. Also, Kent Nielsen up to P12 in this first lap as we complete lap 1 of 25 on to the second. This battle is still heating up pretty wildly for P9 and 10. Got Felipe Giro there in 11th. Oh, close contact between those guys.
Right into the side pod of Luis Nunez. That is not the plan for Felipe Giro, and he has to look behind as well. Marcel Fassbender's going to lose out of place as well. So as they fight, crucially, Nunez holds the position. Behind that, it's Tyler Dzube sweeping around the outside. He's got the inside now for Luffield Corner. Jacob Reed trying to get in on the action as well. Manufacture a pass on Marcel Fassbender, going almost interlocking wheels there as they went through Woodcote Corner and past the old pit lane, going into Copse, the former turn number 1, holding it around the outside. He's going to keep the nose in now as they head to Maggots Corner, and this S's section, wonderful stuff, but Fassbender still on that inside, has to finally yield.
There we go. So Reed's managed to get through there. A few corners side by side. Got a replay off the start here. I'm going to see what has unfolded.
So in towards turn number 1, this is Victor Auer's perspective.
Ooh.
Car on the inside just loses it. Cold tyres, lap 1, and a heavy hit. And very fortunate there with the way he came back on circuit with 3 wheels that he didn't collect anybody else. I believe it was Corriveau who might have been the driver who got caught up in a slowdown penalty then on the front stretch. Troubles then befalling Kent Nielsen. He is having a nightmare on the soft compounds, and he said that he was looking for about 12 laps today on that soft from this starting position, get himself to home.
Oh, there we go.
Right goes Adam Cohen. It's a huge junk up there at Aintree Corner. John Pat Kelly's caught up in it. Backwards is there someone else in the wall. So 3 cars all in trouble at one very slow corner at Stratinsky.
Oh, Jens Stratinsky here. We're disappointed with that. Normally a pretty fast driver inside the top 10. And he didn't set a qualifying lap time, so it's really hurt him in his championship points, potentially. Thomas Simon doing a great job out there leading this race at this stage. P2, Stepanov.
Yeah, but crucially, Oliver Stepanov is on the cusp of a second in the background, straight off the road, and somehow saving it goes Timo Karjalainen, full rallycross spec, keeping that one in check. That was an almighty save by Karjalainen.
Yes, certainly was. I'd love to see an onboard of that. I think it'll be right to left. And I'll just see what's unfolded here.
So this is Kent Nielsen's incident here. And immediately in. Oh, that's really clumsy by John Pat Kelly. And then Stratinsky, trying to avoid it, has a secondary incident there at the apex. So a big misunderstanding, a malfunction at the junction as they went. But this is Karjalainen's save. This might be one of the great iRacing saves, and this is huge. Gets out in the grass, tries to save it 1, 2, 3. Oh,
wow.
4, 3, 4, 5 times trying to save it. Oh my word, Karjalainen. That is finished pedigree.
Yeah, that is almost iRacing highlights material. I tell you, that was phenomenal. I definitely would have put it in the wall come the second swing on that one. As we focus back on live racing now, the gap has closed between Simon and Stepanov, down to 0.6 of a second. Chin hanging in there in third, Garcia 4th, Grandy 5th.
Remy Garcia's done well, +1 so far on the day, just holding on to the rear in the SRT car and doing pretty much everything possible. Doesn't have the DRS, but the front 2 in front of him do. And last time out at Fuji Speedway, Fonzie, it was Chin and Stepanov fighting pretty much all race long for the victory. The difference in that one was Oliver Stepanov overshooting the marks when it came to the pit stop. So keep an eye on this one here. Oliver Stepanov knows that the only difference between last week and this one is the fact that Tamas Simon leads this race. Good battle going on in the middle of the pack right now as the likes of Jacob Reed looks to try and find a way through. Just in front of him is Tyler Dzube.
Yeah, exactly right. And this pit entry is quite a fast pit entry. So yeah, these drivers want to get it right, and Stepanov, he'll certainly not want to be making that mistake again. And I'm sure he would have been well practiced this week to not make that mistake.
Absolutely. I'm sure he's had a bit of flack for missing out on that opportunity and trying to bounce back best as possibly can. No moves then on the Wellington Straight into Brooklands Corner, which has become such a fast-flowing run and really cool. Let's take another look then over towards turn number 2. This is from Michael Farbach's perspective here. So Farbach here moving through. So there's one car spun, and just completely wasn't expecting Stratinsky there to check up, and he gets blindsided, and his race over.
Yeah, you can see that left front wheel managed to snap a tyre rod end as he made that contact, and yeah, he really had nowhere to go. Trying to react to that would be pretty much near on impossible, and yeah, unfortunately for him, race is finished.
Race done and dusted, but not for the top three at this point in time. Simon, Stepanov and Kalen Chin, who have been pretty much fighting the last 6 months as three of the pillars of the front of the field. So they've been certainly focusing, but behind it is an absolute Filippo Grandi train right now, because Cedric Beale's trying to line this one up into turn 3. Get it done at the Village corner in the arena section. It's only a 90-degree right-hander there at Village, but it acts very much like a hairpin, very similar to turn 3 at Melbourne.
Yeah, exactly right. Just looking at Anthony Catt here, he is on that soft compound tyre. He's going to look to take advantage of these guys as quickly as possible, be patient, and wait for the mistake for the guys in front, and there's plenty of them happening. He might get a run out of this turn here.
Of course, he's got Kaya Leinen just in front of him, Cedric Beale, and then Pipo Grandi there just in front of that. Anthony Catt, though, will also know that he's on lap 6 here on his tyres, Fonty, and they're going to start equalising in comparison to the yellow-walled medium compound in front.
Yep, exactly right. The medium tyre, we will see a few people jump onto that soft compound once they make that pit stop. For these guys who are on the soft at the moment, you've got to take advantage. 12 laps, as Sperry said. That's what Kent Nielsen was trying to line up for his stint. He's back in 15th position, so he dropped back to about 17th at his lowest point there, and now he's looking to hunt down Fassbender just in front of him.
Great defence there from Filippo Grandi. Had to do it around the outside of Stowe, making sure that was covered off through the veil at Club Corner. So some wonderful defensive battling going on here in your top 10. It is the fight from what is 5th position all the way back to P9, where Jorge Almanza finds himself in right now. And the group just behind that is desperately trying to reach that train. You've got the likes of Felipe Giro, Luis Nunez, Jacob Reed, Tyler DeZube trying to hold on to the back of this. The big key was last time by, they gained 0.6 of a second because they were battling.
Yeah, exactly right. 1.7 seconds separating the P9 and P10 there. So these guys, if they work together, they'll be able to jump back onto the back of them and hopefully make it a 6-7 car train. Just looking at that front though, Sperry, you've got Stepanov. He's down a 0.3 of a second, and Chin there, he's looking to make a pass, or is he just wanting to be patient and look after those tyres? Here we go. He may be lining himself up here.
Here's the issue he's got. Double DRS. He cannot close at the same rate that Oliver Stepanov is closing up to Tamas Simon. So he effectively gets buffeted and he gets stuck. But Tamas Simon is covering off the margin. It's not going to be the case where you can come back from 7/8 of a second like they could last week and make the moves. You have to be a lot closer. You've got to be within 2.5 of a second, you feel, to get it done. As now losing a place goes Filippo Grandi. He'll lose out then to not only Cedric Beale, but Timo Karjalainen as well. So 2 places gone for Pipo Grandi, and that is a mistake of his own doing. And speaking of mistakes of his own doing, Marcel Fassbender's not got a tyre.
Oh, there we go. What has happened here? He has made big contact by the looks of it, and that's going to take a while to repair in those pits.
He's done it all on his own, as there is a change for the lead. Oliver Stepanov then getting the job done on the Wellington Straight down the inside of Tamas Simon. And now, strike while the iron's hot, Kalen Chin was trying to get very feisty out of Luffield Corner. But again, being third in the train, I think he might have to be crafty with strategy today if he wants to get this done. Simon not giving this up. He might fight back here when it comes to the Hanger Straight.
Yeah, this is going to work perfectly for Kalen Chin. He wants these guys to fight. Look, use up that tyre life. We are on lap 8, so I'm not exactly sure how long the medium compound tyre will last for this Berry. But all these 3 guys are on that same tyre, so, there we go. Simon running very wide. You want to not put too much tyre in the grass on these things, because it can swap ends on you very quickly.
It certainly can. Just ask Marcel Fassbender and his issue out there on track today. A mistake there from Kalen Chin, drops back. But here is what happened to Marcel Fassbender. So Kent Nielsen gets the move done, goes down the inside. And this is just how late You have to wait on the power. Just gets the AstroTurf on the outside and effectively was a passenger going to those inside tyres. So nothing that Marcel Fassbender could do once the car snapped on him, and troubles then persisted. Oliver Stepanov then, for the first time today, leads this race and is trying desperately to build a gap away from Tamas Simon, and he's managed so in the early stages there of this lap. He's got that gap about half a second, and I'd say that's covered, and I wonder how much Tamas Simon was really pushing to try and keep those drivers behind.
Yeah, well, you see that last lap by for him, it was 0.7 of a second faster. Obviously didn't make that pass, so he had a little bit more straight line speed. But yeah, the gap between Kalen Chen and Tamas Simon is slightly opening up too from what it was the previous lap, 0.4 of a second. I think he just needs to be patient and yeah, just try and stick on the back there. Hope that Tamas Simon continues to keep that gap at about half a second. You don't want to get over a second, then you start losing your draft.
You not only lose the draft, but you lose the DRS flap, which is a boost of about 50 brake horsepower on the straight. It is such an invaluable weapon to use, not only to attack but get there, as Cedric Beal now has to defend. Timo Karjalainen is not holding back. He wants to get into play. So too does Luis Nunez as he tries to race for the final spot inside of the top 10, moving through the Vale in towards now the club corners, and it's double apex. You wait, you wait, you wait. You're always turning as you put the power down. Have to be very cautious through that final corner and onto the front stretch once again. That flick right, of course, into the arena section, and Luis Nunez now, the Spaniard, trying to give chase to the Brazilian Felipe Giro.
Yep, exactly right. And just looking at Anthony Katz's times, last lap by, he was second fastest on track. And yeah, really not using that soft tyre to his advantage. He's only got a few laps left before it's going to start to wear out.
I mean, can you blame him at this situation? Pipo Grandi trying to find a way past Karjalainen. Big wiggle from Grandi, moving out of Luffield, had to catch the car and did well to hold it in a straight line. He had such a great undercut, though, on that section of track that he actually kept that net even. So some brilliant defensive work by Grandi.
Yep, certainly right. Great drivers, all of these guys on track, and yeah, incredibly hard cars to drive. Your reaction times need to be so quick, and to be able to catch the car, and even a slight little slide takes a bit of practice. And just seen it perfectly there. Seen it a couple of times today, actually.
Yeah, and everyone is fighting because the track conditions here today, well, it's 37 degrees out on track, a little hot. It's also 18 km/h winds from the west, so they are being buffeted and they're dealing with different winds. And this is one of the things that doesn't often get talked about Silverstone. Former airfield, when it's windy, it is properly windy. Nothing can stop you. There's no windbreaks around this track.
Yeah, there's not too much around the area. And yeah, fantastic circuit, and because it is so fast and flying, well, it can certainly change how the car reacts when going through those fast turns. But these cars are designed pretty well, and you can certainly handle those high winds, but it certainly does affect the racing.
There you just saw Luis Nunez making the pass on Felipe Giro for 10th position overall here in this iRacing Grand Prix Series race. A strength of field of over 4,500 means that pretty much every player who wants to score big is here and is looking for good results here today around this wonderful racetrack. Racing continuing though for 11th now, because Jacob Reed has sensed that element of, I would say, weakness from Felipe Giro. Doesn't have the same pace as Luis Nunez, who's just got by, and he's going to have to work incredibly hard here. Does the number 15 to try and get that back. We'll have the DRS. The issue he's got, though, Felipe Giro has it to counteract.
Certainly does. Good lap time by, and just looking a little bit further behind there, Kent Nielsen moves up to 13th, past Tyler and the number 13 car there. There we go, Anthony Cat in the lane, so that was about right. Lap 12, you said the tyres will last, and so we will see him jump onto the medium compound tyre here.
11 laps done for Anthony Cat.
Eventually.
He dives into the pits. He'll go onto the yellow-walled medium compound tyre and try and get himself home that way. Expect those who are on the yellow-walled mediums to go to maybe about lap 15. That would be the ideal to go in on board with Timo Karjalainen out then on circuit. Still giving chase to Cedric Beal in 5th position, right up behind. Almost had a little think about making the move into Luffield a la John Cleland, but couldn't quite find the right angle to make that happen. And this is such a difficult section that Brooklands into Luffield, because Luffield is the one corner you absolutely need a great run out of to get the chance into Copse.
Yeah, exactly right. And you need plenty of front end steering. You could just see the car understeering there on the approach to the turn. Really hard when you get so close behind these cars for them to be able to actually rotate in the front and get around the corner, and yep, struggled there.
I just had a look at Tamash Simon. He lifted going in towards Stowe, and side by side, finally, Kyalainen around the outside, contact between the two, tyre to tyre. They both keep themselves in it, and Timo Kyalainen, look at Beal on the brakes. He's got so much confidence on the outside. Kyalainen leaves the room, but he'll have the run coming through the final corner, and around the outside, on the curbs as well. Timo Kyalainen, what a pass!
That was fantastic. Well executed there from Timo, and Cedric Beal. Well, he's not giving up. He's looking back down the inside. Oh, and he's going to get a chance here too. Is this going to give a run here to Grande? Oh, fantastic move.
Sneaks through, maybe a slight bit of contact, but Cedric Beal's lost 2 places in half a lap, and he won't know what's hit him. Kyalainen's a human highlight reel, and in comes Adam Cohen. Now, this is a big call come in here, lap 12. They were saying those who started on the mediums, if they wanted to risk it here today, were thinking that at a push, they could make it 20 laps on the soft, but at a push is crucial. They might need to do some tyre saving.
Yeah, that's certainly right. What's that? That's 12 laps to go. So, yeah, this might work out all right for him, actually. Considering that we saw Anthony Cat come in there on lap 12, he might be all right with his choice there, Sperry.
Here we go for the race lead. Here comes Tamash Simon to the inside of Stowe, but Stepanov keeps the power down and holds off the place. Simon was understeering out towards Oliver Stepanov, had to have a light lift, big wiggle as he tries to put the power down too early, and that completely balks Kalen Chin's run, who almost had Supper come along and had to wait, but Pipo Grandi has just dived into the pits. We're firmly now in pit stop range.
Yeah, we certainly are. Tamash Simon looks like he's struggling on those rear tyres, struggling to get the power down, and the tail wants to come around on him. Are we going to see it again? Yep, certainly struggling to put his foot down there. Might see a run here from Kalen Chen. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's going to stick behind at this stage.
Oh, it was right underneath. We saw Tyler Dezube in trouble. Both tyres completely off the car, and it is pretty much a rinse and repeat to Marcel Fassbender over that curb too much. But, I don't think he knew the moment that car let go. He didn't even hesitate. There's no way I can save that car. He just kept the throttle in.
He certainly did. No jumping on the brakes there. This battle for the lead is slightly opening up again. Stepanov open up to 0.6. Kalen Chen hanging in the back there. Now, 4-second gap back to Remy Garcia there in 4th. He's having a little bit of a lone race on his own. And then back to Timo there in 5th.
Absolutely. At this point, there is Filippo Grandi, and he has come out behind Anthony Cat, and that is big. Anthony Cat, of course, is on a fresh set of mediums. It's a fresh set of softs, though, for Pipo Grandi, and this is effectively to become a leader. Amantha coming into the pits. Luis Nunez is diving in. Jacob Reed is coming into the pits. So all of those drivers diving in is going to be the key, as that has happened as Kent Nielsen also jumps into the pits. Great stint from him on the soft. Crucially, Filippo Grandi is through on Anthony Cat.
Yep, there we go. So great there. Drive there from Anthony Cat. He has got that pressure off that soft compound tyre, though. Sitting just behind him.
Just behind him. We'll see where they filter out. Grandi already going through, and up and onto circuit goes Almantha, and he will actually fall behind Felipe Giro, who pitted a lap earlier, so has definitely found the gains. Jacob Reed, the big loser in that stop. He had a long stop.
Yeah, certainly did. It was the box time was pretty good from Jacob Reed, 3.8 seconds. Second, third fastest, actually, but yeah, transit down the pit lane, 31 seconds compared to 28 for most of the other drivers, so not sure what happened there.
There you saw the virtual racing school replay of Filippo Grandi getting past Anthony Cat. Tamas Simon getting close and diving in. 2 come in, 1 stay out. Oliver Stepanov is on his own out there, and Simon was very, very close to the line. He's got away with it in terms of getting through, but he was absolutely on the limit trying to get that car slowed down. Oliver Stepanov needs a monster lap.
Yes, he certainly does, and it's almost guaranteed that we will see him come in next lap by to try and counteract that early stop from the following 2 drivers. And seen Tamas Simon off the blocks out the pit lane. 28.1 transit time, 3.9 second box stop for him, which is pretty good.
It is definitely very good. 0.7 of a second the gap. Remy Garcia, and this is crucial actually in terms of this race. Keep an eye on Remy Garcia. He's only just come out in front of Filippo Grandi, which is massive in terms of this race. Karjalainen is in the middle of everything right now. He's got Almantha, who is already up to speed with his tyres going through, and Karjalainen had an absolutely atrocious Aintree corner, which has completely led up to this group now being all over the back of him. Luis Nunez as well. Cedric Beal, I think one of the biggest losers in the stops.
Yep, certainly right. Just taking a look here at Stepanov as he's approaching the end of his lap. Are we going to see him come through into the pit lane? Yes, we are.
He certainly is. The battle rages on, though, between Almantha and Luis Nunez. They can see picture in picture right now. Oliver Stepanov making his way then past the staging there for the podium celebration. There is Kalen Chin, and he is through. What a move by Kalen Chin. He has had the outlap of his life, and he might be able to take the race lead away as he runs through club corner. Tamas Simon does not quite know what's hit him. Up off the jacks and off and away will go Oliver Stepanov, and he is going to be behind both of them by a distance.
Yes, he certainly is. That was fantastic by Kalen Chen. His lap out of the pit, very, very fast, much faster than anybody else on track. 146.4 versus Tamas Simon, 147.7. So light years ahead, 0.7 already opened the gap up to.
No DRS moving through on the Wellington Straight. Massive, but this is the move that gave Kalen Chin his first taste of laps led in this one. He's been waiting all day long to find this pass, and he sees it open up from Tamas Simon, who just simply did not defend it.
No, he certainly didn't. He kind of left the door open there. Maybe didn't expect him to go for the gap, and then before you know it, the car was there. Stepanov will be disappointed that he didn't call the strategy on that one, and he's been left in the lurch a little bit. 1 second gap, so he is inside that DRS range, but does he have the pace overall to be able to make the pass?
Anthony Cat right now holds the largest train in the field. Karjalainen, Giro, Almantha, Nunez, Beal, all there. And here comes one Mr. Timo Karjalainen getting the pass done, making the move happen. Giro holds off Almantha for position, so the mid-pack suddenly becomes a scraps paradise at this moment. 0.7 and 0.8 of a second, the difference maker. So Stepanov's got himself back within a second. Crucial for his race, but at this point in time, this mid-pack is incredible. The fight going on, 6th position, all the way down to 11th. Someone's not making the top 10.
Yeah, certainly right. Karjalainen has had a fantastic drive. Started in P7, currently sitting in P6. Don't know if he'll be able to make any more gains on that, catch the car in front, but we still do have 7 laps to go in this race. Anything is possible. Yeah, fantastic drop from him so far.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic run from Timo Karjalainen, on board then with Luis Nunez here at the moment, getting right up underneath Jorge Almantha, who really tries to drive off of the exit, but sees that Felipe Giro is lining up with eyes of grandeur against Anthony Cat, whose medium tyres right now are a complete disadvantage. This is where it is gives and takes. You can get a really good opening stint out on the softs, but at some point you've got to change your tyres, and this is the bit which is going to hurt, having car after car just fly past you on the hanger straight.
Yeah, certainly right. It's almost guaranteed with 7 laps to go that these cars are going to be four cars behind them, looking to make a move around the outside. There it goes. Felipe Giro. And is he going to get another one?
Oh, heads up!
Oh, that was
Oh.
lucky.
Look down, Ineos is up and over. Gets tipped on 2 wheels. Almantha goes around. And a big issue.
Oh.
Luis Nunez came from 3 leagues to try and make that pass. Very much got it slowed up. Some great heads-up driving, but contact going into club corner has caused total chaos.
Yeah, exactly right. And Kent Nielsen has made slight contact there, although it didn't look like it. The software has said that he's made contact. He's actually lost the front wing off his car, so that's going to hurt him big time.
Yeah, Kent Nielsen was doing pretty good on the alternative strategy, so that will be a real shame. But here's a look from about 3 leagues down, gets it stopped, but then essentially he's trying to cut off the corner at that point in time. But Amanta's there on the inside with every right to it. And just the nature of the corner, you have to be that aggressive to make sure that you effectively pin the car with power through that section of track and you're not fighting too wide. Speaking of fighting, Tamas Shimon, DRS flap, wide open, and he's not going to be close enough to make the move on Kalen Chin, but he's also having to fight Oliver Stepanov. Hello, welcome to Schrodinger's overtake.
Yeah, certainly right. Looking back here at Luis Nunez on the back of Jacob Reed, getting very close there for the battle in P9. And is he going to make the move? Yes, he's going to go around the outside. Oh, he's going to get it done. Yes, he is going to get it done.
Slowed up on the brakes. Covers it off. A fantastic pass and a slide from Jacob Reed will open up Cedric Beale's chance then to jump into the top 10. So that fight continues on then here in this one. But Oliver Stepanov's got a monster run here on the back of Tamas Shimon, who has to go to the inside to try and make a move. Attack to defend is the best choice, the only choice really that he's got in this sort of race. And Stepanov tries to launch around the outside with 1 lap pressure, soft tyres. He'll have to go the long way around Copse Corner, which is going to be a huge fight out there at the moment. And wisely, he's going to lift off because he needs to stay in range of Kalen Chin. Yeah,
it certainly does. It was a game there. I thought he had that done. Had to travel a few more meters distance than that car in front of him, and for that just had to drop him behind there. Fantastic battle here for the top 3.
Absolutely. They'll have 5 laps to go at the line. Kalen Chin, stalwart, hard defence then to the inside, in towards Stowe. And now here comes the look then to the Vale, to the outside. Tries Tamas Shimon, lunges under braking. Can he get that pivot? No, has to just hit the brakes. Kalen Chin runs wide, leaving the room, and it opens up Oliver Stepanov to the inside. He'll have the inside at Abbey Corner, turn number 1. But again, lift out of it. No confidence in making that move too wide right now.
Yeah, wants to, not cause an accident, continue to get those championship points after last week's mistake. He wants to be able to finish in a good position. He's still got a few laps to go, so he's just going to wait for that mistake. Hopefully he's got good rubber. And here we go, the big defensive line there from Kalen Chin, and he's going to hold it around the outside. Goes to Simon, he's going to get it.
He's going to get it. What a move from Tamas Shimon. He takes the race lead away with 4.5 laps to go. And at Silverstone, we are getting an absolute clinic from the top 3, who are giving everything they possibly can. Simon leads, Chin second, Stepanov in third. Every driver in that top 3 has led laps at this point, and they are fighting for 1 position only, and that is the race victory here today. And Stepanov's got a great chance with the exit out of Chapel. He's got an almighty chance here to get past Kalen Chin. He'll move to the inside. Chin will take the draft, though, away from 1 Mr. Tamas Shimon. And Stepanov struggling with understeer here. Chin's going to hold on to it.
Fantastic driving there from both of those guys. Kalen Chin absolutely committed. Holds on to that. I'm going to see a replay here. I don't know how these guys didn't touch Sperry.
Oh, well, it just took commitment. Kalen Chin had to keep himself narrow through the corner, and that allowed that opportunity then for Tamas Shimon for the first time today to take the race lead overall. And he is really reliant here as Tamas Simon on having a good middle sector. He's opened up a gap of about 6/10 here, and this has opened the door up for Oliver Stepanov here to desperately try and get through. He needs to get through here. Lunges on the inside. Kalen Chin obliges because he's going to try and get the up and under here, and the door's slightly open over at Luffield then. So Stepanov is absolutely pushing at 100 trying to get through, and now Stepanov knows what he's got to do. 3.5 laps. He must chase down Tamas Simon.
Yeah, it looks like he's really struggling in that front end there. You just see on the exit of that previous turn there, it was just wanting to push to the outside. He had to get off the throttle and to stop it going onto the grass. Managed to hold onto this position slightly, keeping that gap as well, 0.6 of a second. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to close it.
Serpentine at Silverstone as Tamas Simon desperately tries to break the draft away. Oliver Stepanov now up into second position, the champion from last season. Absolutely has to do what he needs to in order to get that move sorted. It is worth noting as well, though, at the Vale corner here, Fonty, it has been a case that Kalen Chin has been the best on the brakes.
Yep, certainly right. Very confident under brakes. And looking like he's starting to struggle with that front end as well. On this car, the track is very hot. So Stepanov with the 1 lap newer tyres really taking advantage. Oh, big moment there for Tamas Simon trying to get on the gas. This might leave an opportunity here for Stepanov.
It's done more than that. He'll have to go the long way around, though, here into Brooklands corner, and he is going to manage it, and then some. Oliver Stepanov is your new race leader, and now it's down to Tamas Simon and Kalen Chin. They've got to really fight against the tide now to get this one back. A really nice move for the race lead round the outside at Brooklands from Oliver Stepanov.
Yep, exactly right. Just 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go here in this race. And this Kalen Chin, he hasn't had to use a huge amount of tyre in the last lap, so potentially drop down in pressure, drop down in temperature a little bit. Can he use that to his advantage?
Can he indeed? Here comes Tamas Simon. Close, but no cigar. Doesn't want to make the move just yet. So he's still got 2 more opportunities if he wants to go and win this race outright here at Silverstone. The top 3 still in with a chance. Keep an eye out as well on the battle just on the outside of the top 10. Cat versus Nunez versus Reed is also something to keep an eye out on in the final couple laps, but a move in towards turn number 1 does not materialize, and Tamas Simon knows he's just got to hold on through these infield sections, because this is where Stepanov's tyres will show their biggest advantage, trying to build and manufacture a gap. It's at half a second at this moment.
Yeah, it certainly is, and just extending 0.6 now. So really coming out of these slow corners, trying to get on the power is the most important thing for Tamas and for Kalen Chin there. And Kalen looking very racy at this stage.
He absolutely is. And Kalen Chin knows that if this gap does break outside of a second, then there's not much that can be done for Tamas Simon. He'll be there primed and ready to take second best away in this one. He knows how important Maggots is, and the right and left of this S is moving into Beckett's, the right-hander, and then the left, the small left of Chapel that leads onto the hangar straight. Gap extends again, 0.7 of a second. Oliver Stepanov's finding exactly what he needs at the right time, a gap.
Yep, that's exactly right. The pit stop, he came out in 3rd.
Oh,
there
Grandi.
we go.
Filippo Grandi out of Chapel, in trouble, and finds himself now losing multiple positions. He's down outside of the top 10, and now the last lap starts, and Tamas Simon desperately is trying to hold on to second because Kalen Chin's all over him.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's trying everything he can, but there's no front tyre left in it. I think that we might see this in a finishing position. Potentially, is he going to have it left in him? Oh, big moment there for Kalen Chin. He cannot get the power down at all, and that's opened up the gap to 0.7. I think this is going to be our finishing results, Barry.
Oh, and that was just that, a small kick of power coming through. This is what happened to Pipo Grandi. Then moving through Beckett, just a bit aggressive on the inside. The car not settled, and then around it went. Not ideal. Meanwhile, as that's happened, Anthony Katz lost one. He's about to lose another, because here comes Jacob Reed to the inside. Katz not giving this one up. He's going to be on the inside here at Luffield, but look at this. Around the outside, some wonderful racing action. Reed's going to get the power down, and he's going to get it done at Luffield. What a good battle. Katz still not done. He'll try and fight at Copse. This is the time. He's not got the position, though, and that not ideal already for Oliver Stepanov. He moves through at Stowe Corner, and he's got the gap he wants at 1.1 seconds. A masterclass on the soft compound of sticking in, waiting for everybody to fight. It has been a great race with Simon and Chin giving everything they had. Oliver Stepanov is back to the top step. Number one is P1, and that an instant classic when it comes to sim racing.
Oh, that was fantastic driving between those three guys, and yeah, couldn't really have turned it on anymore. Anthony Cat will be slightly disappointed there that he lost that in the last lap here, but fantastic drive overall.
Fantastic drive, and they still race towards the line. Grandy will lead home Almantha and Kent Nielsen there as they go through, and crucially, no drivers here today will be classified as a lap down. There you can see the excitement for Oliver Stepanov. Absolutely deserved donuts there on the turn 3 section in front of the village crowd, so to speak. What an incredible race that is, especially coming back. He was 1.1 seconds behind going through turn 3 after he came out of the stop there, Fonty. He had to dig deep to keep in this race.
Oh, he certainly did, Sperry. He drove fantastically well. I didn't think that he was going to be able to close the gap, considering he just came out on fresh tyres. I thought the gap was going to open right up, but he proved me wrong and really caught up, did the business today, and came through to win the race.
He did more than the business. He got himself maximum points here today. 37 minutes, 13 seconds. Oliver Stepanov wins it by just the 1 second over Tamás Simon, the Hungarian, getting that one done fantastically in second. 1, 2, 3, they started in this race. 1, 2, 3, they finished in this race. Caelan Chin finishing third, but by no means does that tell the story of how great the racing was at the front today. Remy Garcia, what a crucial 4th place that is for him. He really needed that quiet race, and that will do him wonders. And what a recovery from the human highlight reel that is Timo Karjalainen. Found himself trying to save the car 5 times coming out then of the Chapel Corner, and still managing to recover back into 5th. Felipe Giro will take 6th ahead of Luis Nunez in 7th position. Jacob Reed will be the first Brit here at this British track in 8th position, just ahead of Anthony Cat, who he made the pass on the final lap on, with Cedric Beal, the Frenchman, rounding out then the top 10. Moving down, Filippo Grandi was up in 5th position, but that spin with a couple of laps to go pretty much paid an end to that, as he finished just ahead of Kent Nielsen, the Canadian, and Jorge Almantha, the Mexican, in 13th. Philip Yates finished 14th ahead of Thomas Knoll, the Austrian, with Adam Cohen finishing off in 16th and Paul O'Regan in 17th position. John Pat Kelly was the last finisher in this race. He was in 18th, and the retirees included the likes of Tyler DeZube and Marcel Fassbender, each with the same incident off of the exit of Stowe Corner. And then the final retirees then in this race, Michael Farbach, Jan Stratinsky, both of them coming together over at turn 4, with Devon Corriveau and Victor Alad out on the opening lap, out at the opening corner of racing action today. But in terms of where next week is heading, I won't be heading there, unfortunately, but Fonty, you'll be around, as you'll be heading to the high-speed, high-thrill Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, certainly will be. Red Bull Ring, fantastic circuit. Also one of the homes of Grand Prix Racing is this track, and yeah, it's certainly going to be a great race. Myself and someone else other than Sperry, which is going to be a little bit strange for everybody. The voice of Grand Prix Racing in iRacing is Sperry. He's not going to be here with us next week, but that's okay, because I'll probably have Jay Kennedy with me.
Well, there'll be a lot of people here, and I'm sure there'll be some amazing action there to go as well. If you want a chance to catch that, you must, absolutely must, like, follow, subscribe, do everything you need to keep yourself up to date with action with SimSpeed TV. If you are watching action on YouTube, hit the follow a bell, keep yourself up to date with all of SimSpeed TV's action out then overall. A massive thanks has to go to the iRacing open wheel community for once again providing us the opportunity to cover the iRacing Grand Prix Series here with us at SimSpeed TV. On top of that, must give a thanks as well to the Virtual Racing School, who have been on the replays here and have been with us on the replays for a fair while as well. From everybody who's got it done, Jay Kennedy, who's been on the camera, Scott Fountain, who has been alongside me. I've been Jake Sperry. What a thrill we have had here today. What an incredible battle between Stepanov, Simon, and Kalen Chin. Yes, 1-2-3, 1-2-3 is how it looks on the paper, but everyone held a lead at one point. Everyone had a chance to pick this one up. Oliver Stepanov just found himself a cut above when it came to the checkered flag. He's at home soil next week, though, and that is a very thrilling prospect. See you 1 week from today. The Red Bull Ring awaits.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.